So here I am at the Carmela, I believe it is, winery in Glen'S, Ferry, Idaho. Cute little place. Been here since 1987, built the building, planted the grapes in '82. Second owner. They do quite well. The old man that owned it left it to the 4 kids out of Rupert. John, Henry, Robert, and Martha. I'm not sure which one of them is on site running it. They got a golf course, little RV park. Cute. But I had to find something out of the sun. Very hot. So, I'll be up early on my way to the boat put in, ramp, get the kayak loaded. I pretty much got everything ready. And I should be in Black Sands Resort by 10 o'clock, I hope, and back here by noon on the water. Here I am in Glen'S Ferry, as I've said, getting ready to put on the mighty snake. I thought about laying around today after the stress of yesterday driving and the last section, but I'm not going to do it. That's not my style. So I'll be on the road here in a half an hour, 45 minutes on up to Black Sands Resort and see if I can't find Jerry and Carl, who are cousins, who sit around and don't do much, and maybe one of the 2 of them will give me a ride back, but I shouldn't have any trouble hitchhiking. It is a rural road, but a little bit of traffic. There'll be people coming to town on a Monday morning, no question about it. Just beautiful. Took a while to get to sleep last night because it was so hot. It's going to be 100 today, but I'm prepared for it. So I expect to have a good 2 days. This river should not have any issues between here and Striker Dam. Just keep my eyes open. Here I am, 2 o'clock, back on the river, a couple hours later than I wanted to be, but I got a great ride from a guy that lives there at Black Sands Resort, grew up in this area, been here off and on, just been all over the place, a lot like me, just a great guy, Carl. When I get back, he's going to fix me lunch or dinner, and I'm going to take a picture of his little place that he's put together there on the beach. Just a lot like me. Great guy. Glad to know there's one other good guy in the world. This is a new house that somebody's building. But this will be a very smooth, comfortable trip down to Black Sands. It just shouldn't have any issues at all. And there should be some current, so I'm not going to have to paddle the whole way. And then I've got this new umbrella, golf umbrella, that's built real well, but if the wind's blowing in the right direction on the reservoir, I'll sail to the other end. So far, I think this is the 7th or 8th section, and I'm motivated again today. I don't know if you can see them or not, but there's some just day or 2 old little baby geese out in front of me that I can barely see. I don't think you're going to be able to see them in the video. But if you'll come over here and listen to the mother and father talking to them and flapping their wings, trying to get me to follow them. I just hope they don't all get busted up. But they'll find them. One of them's trying to go over to them. But I finally got the umbrella situation figured out. This golf umbrella is what I needed. So I got it where I can put it in front of me, because in the afternoons the sun is going down and it's just been frying me. Literally. And I can put it in back of me when the sun is overhead or behind me, so that's worked out real well. It's actually blowing down river, the wind is. I actually could be using it as a sail, and I might here pretty soon, but the river's got a little current to it, so I'm moving. You can see them or not, but look at all the bird nests in these trees. These dead trees, or some of them are dead. And then look at all the turkey vultures. And I'm just wondering if that's their nest. But interesting. First time I've ever seen that. And just probably 30 of them in there. Well, I just lost the 4th umbrella. The golf umbrella, the best one I had. I had it all fixed up, sitting here in the front of me. Little gust of wind hit it, blew it off, landed on its top. I was texting Debbie to make sure we talked before she leaves. And lo and behold, I start to paddle over to it, and it sinks. I've never seen anything like it. And it did not come back up. Oh, I mean, it's the 4th one since being on the Deschutes. I'm just not having luck. But I'm going to try it one more time because I got a lot of kayaking left. And it works so well as a sail. If the wind's blowing in the right way, I can't tell you how much it saves a guy in paddling. I mean, untold amount of energy doesn't have to be expended. But that's the way it goes. So it is clouded up. I'm lucky it's only about 4:15. Which it should stay this way the rest of the day, I hope, because it was supposed to be 100. It's supposed to drop down to 86 tomorrow. So it will help immensely because now I have no shade. I do have a good hat, thanks to Sam Walton. So anyway, here I didn't think I was going to have any issues on this little trip of about 60 miles, and I wasn't into it 2 hours in a $27, $28 good golf umbrella with one of my hiking poles I've had forever, ever. Whole set of ski poles. Sinks to the bottom of the Snake River. This is what this kayak is made for, what I think it should be used for. Big, open, no current, very little, no impediments, you know, pretty hard to get in trouble. I do know that I'm hearing that the Snake River is the most polluted river on the West Coast. And the reason for it is all of the chemicals and crop fertilizer that goes on the Snake River corridor for ranching and farming and growing crops and that sort of thing. It's absolutely huge through here. Simplot owns a ton, tens of thousands of acres in here, and of course they're a fertilizer company. And the result of that over the years has been this growth in the river. As you can see, it's just all over. There's mats of it. It almost looks like it's starting to choke the river off. Now I don't know what happens in the winter, if it dies or it stays there or whatever, but there's big talk about it. It's obviously affecting the ecosystem, and it stands to reason. You put fertilizer on the ground to get the crops to grow, it flows off into the river, and it's obviously going to fertilize the growth in the river. The seaweed, the grass, whatever it is. And there's so much of it, evidently it is becoming prolific to grow. It just grows. You can see it all over the top of the water. You probably can't see it because of the reflection. But it is unbelievable. And you can't see all the cropland up above. But you can see the side hills to the left, but not to the right. This whole valley, and up on top, they're pumping water out of here, and they're growing, and this is huge business around there. Big business. So who knows what will come of the river as this tries to get resolved. They were talking about it this morning at the put-in, the Game Commission and the BLM, and because it's becoming a huge problem. Some of these houses have boat docks. They can't even use their boat docks because they're completely surrounded by this growth. I would imagine it affects the fish population, the oxygen level. I don't know. I'm not interested in it enough to go online unless I get real bored and try to figure it out. But if you were to fly over this country, you would see that it is green. They are growing alfalfa by the tens of thousands of acres, sugar beets, corn, mint, obviously grain. I mean, it's crazy. And Simplot is huge into it. Obviously, they're an Idaho company. Very pretty house. Stuck back up in here. Just gorgeous. Beautiful landscaping. Makes you wonder who it is, what they do, how they do it, why they do it. Probably a big rancher. But it's very pretty. There's a deer up here standing in the water, along with a pump. Screaming, pumping water up the hill. You can see the pipe going up the hill. You might be able to see the deer moving. She should be there just about in the middle. She's looking at me. Fortunately, the sun's gone behind the clouds. I don't need the umbrella, and the wind's blowing upriver now, so it wouldn't do me any good. It should be a pretty good little video with her standing in there watching me. There's supposed to be a lot of deer in this. Probably hear the pelicans taking off. Look at her, isn't she pretty? Boy, she's in good shape. Fat, stocky. Well, she should be with all the feed she's got. There she goes. Well, she's gonna hang on. Huh. Probably got a baby in there someplace. Irrigation system. 4 big pumps pumping that water up that pipe, up the hill. Huge. Guys, electric bill is probably $1,000 a day. Something was wrong because I just couldn't move. And my rudder wasn't working, but look at this. No wonder. And that's exactly what I'm talking about in one of those last videos when it comes to the growth in the river. It's crazy. This keeps up, this whole river will just be grown over. But I'm going to take a little break. It's only about 6:30. I've been on the river about 4.5 hours, and I've come a long ways. If this keeps up, I'll be there tomorrow afternoon. Alright, home sweet home. I've been looking for a place for well over an hour. I've gone a hell of a long ways today. I was thinking about not stopping here because there's a big pump up there, but these trees are going to block the noise. So it's a good spot. Real good spot. All sand. Be the first time I've camped on sand since I left. That's simple. I'm not taking everything out of the boat. I didn't bring the cot this time. I'm just going to sleep on the ground. Not going to put the cover on because it's not going to rain. It's supposed to be a full moon tonight or close. I sit on my pillow so it's a little damp. That's simple. Didn't take me 10 minutes. And that's the way it should be. This is a good spot. No wind, no breeze. Birds are chirping. Can't hear the pump. Going to be a great night. Fish are jumping. I don't know what kind they are, but they are very aggressive. I don't know what they're after. They could be chasing other fish, but I'll tell you this much. I hate to have my finger in the water because they are big and they are aggressive. We're going into the C.J. Stryker Canyon Dam on the reservoir. Or the canyon at the dam. I've probably got about 16 miles to go. There's no question I think I'll get there today unless I wear out. But fortunately it's not near as hot like it was supposed to be. A little overcast, but the sun seems to be coming out. I've done pretty good. I'm holding up pretty good. So we'll just see how it goes. We get there the rest of the day. Stopped and had a little snack, got off my butt. That's the big thing. I can handle it kayaking and paddling, although I am getting a little tired, my shoulders. But I've gone hundreds of miles. So a little break tomorrow, getting to the next spot and figuring out what I'm going to do will be just about good timing. I'm making it. I'm going to get there probably somewhere around between 4 and 6. The wind has died down, but fortunately it's been blowing behind me, so that really helps. You can see it's still overcast, so that really helps compared to that 100 degrees yesterday. And no umbrella. If I had the umbrella, I'd be there by now. The wind behind my back, I could have sailed the whole way. Well, pooped. This is about a 60-70 mile trip, and I just put on the, I don't even think it was on the river yesterday by this time yet. In fact, I know it wasn't. Carl and I stopped and had a hamburger. I bought him a hamburger. He wouldn't take any money for bringing me, so I gave him $22 worth of gas, filled his car up, and bought him a hamburger and onion rings. Nice guy. The wind came up behind me. As you can see, the white caps out there. I've got to go another mile is all, maybe. But I am not going to head across the lake with those white caps. I'm not going to do it. I could. The wind's below me or behind me, but I'm tired. My butt's tired. Once again, it's not really a risk, but I'm a little stressed out from the wind and my butt. If you'll look out there, it's really blowing. I got lucky here and got around the corner. But I get sideways again in those 1 foot, 2 foot swells. I think I'll be all right. I was on Flathead Lake and they were 3 to 5 foot high. But they were swells. This is white caps. This is really blowing. So I'm going to hunker down. I'm going to take a little break. And I'll bet you in an hour or two, unless it rains, which it could, I can just stay right here. It's a good camp spot. Get up early in the morning to go if I have to, but I'm not going out there right now. Went ahead and just went. Said to heck with it. The wind's behind me. Obviously a little stressful and some anxiety. But as you can see, it's pretty choppy. But the wind's just blowing me. I'm doing what would, in about 30 minutes, what would have taken me 2 hours to kayak and paddle. But I'm almost there. It's just right there. So here we go off again this time. Drop the phone. So here we go again this morning. Up in the hills doing my business. Getting an earlier start this morning. I don't know if you can see this little bunny rabbit sitting here. He's so cute. He doesn't want to move. And he's just a little cutie. Look at him lay his ears back. Huh? Little cottontail. And there he goes. So, we'll be on the river early. It's overcast. It's supposed to cool down today, which is nice. From 100 down to 86, something like that. That makes it nice. Fish jumped all night long, still jumping. So there must be a feeding frenzy going on. So just a beautiful morning. Every morning's been beautiful, hasn't it? My 14th day on the river? No. 15th. 16th, 19th day on the trip since leaving Ben. So I've done real well.